Hare Krishna, welcome to the Saturday Bhagavad Gita class. Let's chant the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutah Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagadara Gunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are into second chapter. We have done till verse 17 and today we are going to discuss verse 18 onwards. So let's chant verse 18 first. Antavanta ime deha
अन्तवन्त मे देह
नित्यास्योक्ता शरीरिणः
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अनासीनो प्रमेयस्य
अनासीनो प्रमेयस्य
तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अनाशीनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत
अनासीनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत
अनासीनो प्रमेयस्य तस्मद्युध्यस्व भारत
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत
अनागन्ते मे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनासीनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
Antavant ime deha nityasyukta sharirinah anashino prameyasya tasmat yuddhatsva bharata.
अन्तवन्त
अन्तवन्त
इमे
इमे
देह
देह
नित्यस्योक्तः
नित्यस्योक्ता
शरीरिणः
शरीरिणः
अनासिनो
अनासिनो
प्रमेयस्य
प्रमेयस्य तस्मद्युध्यस्व
तस्मद्युध्यस्व
भारत।
भारत।
Okay. Madhavi?
The material body of the
No,
indestructible
no. Chant the shlok.
yes, sir.
Chant the shlok.
Yes. Antavanta ime deha nitya yukta saririnah anasino prameyasya tasmai yudhyayasva bharata.
Tasmad yudhyasva bharata.
Tasmat yudhyayasva bharata.
Yeah. Deepa?
अन्तवन्त इमे देह नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनासिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत।
Wonderful. Madhuri Mataji?
अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्वस्व भारत.
Very good. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. So now you must have observed from 17 onwards, Krishna is now talking about the consciousness. Yeah. So that consciousness, because of which the body is able to move, we are able to think, we are able to survive in this material world. So that consciousness, that power is the spirit soul. That's what he is now talking about and giving us the knowledge about how everything is pervades due to this tiniest, smallest particle which is there in every body in 8.4 million species, 8,400,000 million species. Yeah? So that particular smallest of the small, tiniest of the tiny. So that particular thing which is keeping us alive. So now Krishna is giving us that knowledge. Okay. So before we go ahead, any question there?
All good from me.
Okay. So translation again. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. So what he is talking about here, that what is going to be destructed, not the eternal body, eternal soul. It's only the outer covering. In that outer covering, we are situated as a soul. So as soul, we are never died. We are eternally present. And the whole game about the Bhagavad Gita is why Arjun is getting morose. He is, not able to do anything. He is very, very bewildered in all these things, because he is thinking from the bodily perspective, bodily concept of life, that what will happen if this happens, what will happen if this happens, all those. So whatever he was thinking was not wrong. However, from the spiritual perspective, what Krishna is trying to give us the knowledge through Arjun, that perfectly fits here. And now see what Srila Prabhupada says in his purport in order to, uh, uh, give his understanding to all of us. So, any hands who wants to read today? Okay, Deepa, go on.
The material body is perishable by nature. It may perish immediately or it may do so after 100 years. It is a question of time only. There is no chance of maintaining it indefinitely. But the spirit soul is so minute that it cannot even be seen by an enemy, to say nothing of being killed. As mentioned in the previous verse, it is so small that no one can have any idea how to measure its dimension. So, from both viewpoints, there is no cause of lamentation because the living entity, as he is cannot be killed, nor can the material body be saved for any length of time or permanently protected. The minute particle of the whole spirit acquires this material body according to his work, and therefore observance of religious principles should be utilized. In the Vedanta Sutras, the living entity is qualified as light because he is part and parcel of supreme light. As sunlight maintains the entire universe, so the light of soul maintains this material body. As soon as the spirit soul is out of this material body, the body begins to decompose. Therefore, it is the spirit soul which maintains this body. The body itself is unimportant. Arjun was advised to fight and not sacrifice the cause of religion for material bodily considerations.
Hmm. Yeah. What is your understanding, Deepa?
So, so Krishna tries to say is, as Arjuna is confused that he's going to kill all his relatives and people, Krishna is trying to say that what you see as an exterior is just the body, but what actually means is the interior part, which is so minute. We know not only enemy, nothing can see that, but that is the whole minute thing that's driving this whole body. So once it goes out of the body, that body has no meaning. So don't worry, go ahead, do your what you're supposed to do. So you're not killing anyone. It's the soul that can neither be killed nor be created.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you. What is Saloni? Do you want to say anything?
No, I totally agree. It cannot be seen, cannot be harmed, and that tiny dot, not even a dot, is maintaining this big body.
So you completely agree. So I can inform Krishna that Saloni is agreed, huh?
So it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Any other viewpoints, Madhuri Mataji? Anything else? Okay. So if we scrutinizingly read this verse, Antavanta ime deha.
Mm.
Ime, all these deha, body, is Antavanta. It is going to be destroyed. It is going to end. And Nityas plus Yukta Sharirinaha. But that which is inside the body, Sharirina, is Nityas. Nityas plus Yukta Sharirinaha. Anasino Prameyasya. Anasino, that is indestructible, and it is Parmeyasya. It is immeasurable. Tasmat Vidyasya Bharata. Because it is immeasurable, it is not even indestructible, then why are you crying about it? That's what Krishna actually
Lamenting.
means. Yeah. So why are you lamenting upon? So what is the point? The proceeding leads to the conclusion, therefore, fight. Actually, the body is bound to destroy and the soul is indestructible. Therefore, so Arjun, you will not be able to save the body even if you will avoid fighting. And you will not be able to destroy the soul even if you will fight. So therefore, what that which is the essential nature, which is unchangeable. We are born with a death sentence on us. In fact, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he gave a very good seminar on the um, death is a glorious, life is a glorious journey to death.
Mhm.
Life is a glorious journey to death, so enjoy it.
Mm.
as long as the body is good, enjoy it.
Mm.
But enjoy, what does it mean by that enjoyment? Make good use of that for the humanity, for your spiritual life, for betterment of the human beings, or betterment of any jiva, for that matter. So when we go for chanting in the park, chant loudly. Why? There are two aspects to it. Chanting loudly means first we should be able to hear. Shravanam, Kirtanam, both are happening at the same time. Plus, the jivas who are not able to chant, they can hear. They are also getting purified. Right? So chant loudly. It always says that chant loudly. It does not mean that you shout or scream. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. No, that is not what he's saying. The purpose is that we should be able to, give that hearing and chanting to other jivas who are unable to do that, because in their present condition, they are not in the human body. So they may not be able to do it. But just by listening, probably, just by the sound of vibration, they will also get some benefit out of that. That's why. And at the same time, we are also getting benefited. Because Krishna and Krishna's name, there is no difference. So we are, as I said, born with a death sentence on us. So like an expiry date on the product, So only we don't know when it will come. Their expiry date is not written. We as a product. So it is said aprameyasya, immeasurable. But in previous verse, Srila Prabhupada has quoted the size of the soul is 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. But immediately after that, it is mentioned that aprameyasya, immeasurable. So this means that calculation of 1/10,000th is just to imagine how tiny it could be. It's not subjected to material measurement. I mean, you can bring any very sharpest, microscope, but still we will not be able to see that. We can see the bacteria in yogurt, but you can't see that smallest particle, which is soul. Nobody is able to see. Even scientists have failed so far. They are not able. If that was so easy, they could have created the chemicals and would have created a body or created a soul. And then soul people were, amar ho jate the sare log.
Where does the soul live in the body?
In this heart portion.
In the heart portion?
Heart portion of the body. So along with super soul and soul, it lives in the heart portion of the body. Okay. So there he lives as a supervisor and permitter. Both. He is doing dual job. Supervisor as well as permitter. Upadrashta Anumanta. That comes in later chapter when we will discuss. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. That's what Krishna says. So we are, having a journey which is a glorious journey to death. And we don't know when it is going to come. And Prabhupada is now saying aprameyasya. Krishna is saying aprameyasya. It is immeasurable. That is what Prabhupada has said. So this means it is not subjected to material measurement. It is not material and it is not materially measurable. So it cannot be measured in material sense since it is the spiritual in nature. There are dimensions, but that is not material dimensions. कि वो इतना चौड़ा है, इतना लंबा है, इतना height है उसका. We cannot say that. This is the height, this is the breadth, this is the length, and this is the depth of it. No, because there is no material dimension as such. So aprameyasya refers to Here that it is so small that it can't be even measured by source of perception. So now in that context of aprameyasya, it is the indestructible. It is indestructible. For example, Bhishma Pitama, many arrows have perished into his body. So that there was no place even one can put one finger between arrows. But still, soul was there and not destroyed. So, aprameyasya, given point of further indestructibility, we have also seen 2.17, Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. And Srila Ramanujacharya explains that soul is so subtle that it pervades everything. And actually nothing can destroy it. So same point is continued in this verse again.
This one.
So soul is indestructible. So Krishna has given a call for action in previous verse. Antavanta ime deha. Sorry. Avinashi tu tadviddi yena sarvam idam tata. That's what in the last verse. Yeah. Yeah. So scriptures can have multiple tone. In 2.13 it says Dehi nostin benatha dehe. What was the verse? Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Every verse actually Krishna is giving us the hint. But with our mudha prakriti, we don't understand. Mudha means?
Fully. No, not
Who's
knowledgeable.
mudha? We all are mudha actually. We are fools. So that's mudha. So as a mudha prakriti, we don't understand what Krishna is trying to do. He's continuously giving us the hints. In every verse, he's trying to tell us that, Yena sarvam idam tatam. Dehinosmin yatha dehi, kaumaram yovaram jara. So how we go, then what is changing?
Body.
Dehinosmin yatha dehi, kaumaram yovaram jara, tatha dehantara praptir, dhiras tatra. The sober person does not get bewildered. Ki, main kitna jawan ho gaya. Now I'm looking so beautiful. I'm looking so handsome. He does not get bewildered with all these changes. He stays sthira, subtle, sober. Prabhupada has translated it as a sober soul. Dhira is sober. But now, sober has different meanings as well. In our English dictionary, if you go and see the etymology, in etymology you will get various meanings for the sober. However, here the meaning of sober is that one who does not get surprised by this. Oh, now I become Kishora, I become Yavan. He does not get bewildered with all these changes because he knows that it is the nature of the soul that it remains as it is. It does not increases in size, never goes go less in size or grows in size. Only thing body changes. Today it's a Maruti car, tomorrow it can be BMW, later on it can be Mercedes or Rolls Royce or whatever. But the engine is only getting changed every time. And that engine, whatever is in my body, in my car, is different. Your car is different, but they all are coming from the one super engine. And that is super soul.
Yeah.
Is it easy to understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the educational perspective, the information are also important because they enable us to understand philosophical term. For example, a doctor can give a lot of info about disease, But given instruction is most important as it teaches what should we do. Now, just knowing that, lymphosarcoma of intestine, what is the gain? If I know lymphosarcoma of intestine, that means a kind of a cancer in my intestines. What am I going to achieve by that? Nothing. It will only add to my worries. But if I know what is the prescription that has been prescribed by a doctor to me, that what time which medication has to be taken, what to eat, what not to eat, किससे बात करना है, किससे नहीं करना है, and all that, So, don't talk to your wife, so you're happy. This is not necessary.
That is not in prescription.
Not in there. So not in prescription. So do's and don'ts are there, and then what medication has to be taken at what time, etc. What exercise you have to do, what time you have to get up, what time you have to sleep. All those are given. They are part of the prescription that is given. So do's and don'ts are very, very important. Because just by knowing the name of the disease, we are not going to achieve anything. The only thing is it may add to the worry, because nowadays the Google is so powerful that if I tell you the lymphosarcoma of intestine, you will go and search for it. And then you will take your head in your hands and you will go sit like this. Oh my God, what has happened to me? So now I'm going to start counting the days that how long I'm going to live. Like that. So we don't have to worry about all this, what is the name, etc. We have to only worry about that how soon I can go back to Godhead and serve Krishna over there rather than struggling in this material world like this. Yeah. Any questions?
All good.
Can we go to the next verse? So now all these verses are going to talk about the soul. Okay. So it's a very, very important verses in this chapter.
Yeah.
Ya enam vettihantaram
Yainam vitti hantaram
yaschenam manyate hatam
Yaschairam
yaschenam
manyate
manyate
hatam
hatam
ubhotau na vijanito
ubhau
ubhauto
to na
na
vijanito
vijanito
nayam hanti na hanyate
नायं
nayam
हन्ति न
hanti na
हन्यते
hanyate
ya enam vettihantaram yaschenam manyate hatam.
ya
yainam
enam
vitti hantaram
vettihantaram yaschairam
yaschenam
manyate
manyate
hatam
hatam
Ubhoto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate.
उभौतौ
ubhau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate
Ya enam vettihantaram yaschenam manyate hatam.
ya enam
वेति
vitti
हन्तारम्
hantaram yaschenam
नैनं मन्यते
manyate hatam
Bhauto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate.
उभौतौ
ubhau
न
to na vijanito
नायं
nayam
हन्ति न
hanti na
हन्यते
hanyate.
Full shloka in one go. Ya enam vettihantaram yaschenam manyate hatam. Ubhauto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate.
य एनं वेति हन्तारम्
हन्तारं यश्चैनं
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौतौ
उभौ तौ
न
न
विजानीतो
विजानीतो
नायं
नायं
हन्ति न
हन्ति न
हन्यते
हन्यते
Ya enam vettihantaram yaschenam manyate hatam. Ubhauto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate.
य
enam
एनं वित्ति
वेति
हन्तारं
हन्तारम्
यश्चैनं
यश्चैनं मन्यते
मन्यते
हतम् उभौतौ न
न
विजानीतो
विजानीतो
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
हन्यते.
Are we comfortable? Yeah? Okay. Saloni, do you want to try?
Okay. Ya enam veti hantaranam yaschainam manyate hatam ubhoto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate.
Wonderful. You scored a 6, when I was not expecting. Really very good. I'm so pleased. Madhuri Mataji?
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते.
Yes, Madhuri.
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते.
Last batsman.
य एनं वित्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते.
Wonderful. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Twisting of tongue, isn't it? So much slays, nor, yeah. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge, for the self slays not, nor is slain. Now, what does it mean?
He's killed. Neither he who thinks the living entity, the slayer, nor he who thinks is slain.
Are we able to get any meaning out of this? So, ya enam vetti hantaram. Enam vetti. So, one who thinks there's to be hantaram. Hanta means killing.
The killer.
The destroyer, or the hantaram is the killer.
Slayer.
Yes, chainam manyate hatam. One who thinks that the soul is destroyed by killing the body. Ubhautau, both of them. So these both people, na vijanito, neither of them actually know what they are saying. Nayam hanti na hanyate. The soul neither kills nor is killed. It make life easy now?
Yeah.
Yes, Saloni?
Yeah, makes sense.
Sort of.
I could not understand the translation before. I read it so many
I know.
times and it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. So, ya enam vetti hantaram. Enam vetti means, so one who thinks this to be hantaram, but this can be killed or destroyed. Yes, chainam manyate hatam. One who thinks that the soul is destroyed by killing the body is absolutely, so both of them are wrong. So, ubhautau, both of them, na vijanito, neither of them actually know what they are saying. Okay, so nayam hanti na hanyate. The soul neither kills nor is killed. Even if when the murder happens, what happens? That's not natural death, but the soul leaves the body, saying that I don't need to be here anymore because this body was to be destroyed anyway. So I leave this body and I go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So when the soul goes, it has subtle, because it's a subtle body. So it has three things along with it: the mind, intelligence, and false ego. Yeah. So they are carrying along with the soul, and they have to perform all those things which are associated as karma with the soul. So he will not go back to God until the time everything else has been completed. The karmas are completed. There are good karmas or bad karmas. Yeah. So they both have to be. And then intelligence and the mind, they are also getting developed accordingly. Yeah. If somebody is a thief, he will have thief, mentality of always doing some theft here and there, and then living like that. So that mentality, that mind, that intelligence which is developed, how I can do the better way of stealing things, because the intelligence is working that way. Because once you got the a habit of stealing things, then your complete mentality is working on those lines. Now let's read the purport. Saloni, Mother, do you want to read, please?
When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon. As will be evident from subsequent verses, nor is a living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is a body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is Mahimsyat Sharva Bhutani, never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being encouraged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically.
And also on the order of the Lord. See, and that he's also doing it on the order of the Lord. That wake up, Arjuna, and fight. Uttishtha jagritaha. So that's what Krishna is telling him. That wake up, fight. Don't sit down here like a fool. He's telling him that. So what is the meaning here? This verse is very easy to understand, that soul is not killed. Shri Krishna has explained that soul is indestructible in the earlier verses. He has already said that. So what is the significance of this verse then? The meaning of soul is not killer also. Obviously, the Arjuna is going to shoot the arrow to opponents. He's going to be the killer, isn't it? Yeah. But actually, the statement is to be understood in the context that the previous verse was saying that the body is perishable, but soul is imperishable. Because the body is going to be perishable, because the body is going to die. By its own course, in the course of nature, the body is destroyed and it cannot be avoided. So if somebody is not killed in a battlefield or not killed on the road or whatever, which is we call as unnatural death. But with the time, it is going to die anyway, right? As the old age appears or comes or occurs. So, Janma, Mrityu, Jara and Vyadhi. Jara means the old age and Vyadhi means to have some kind of disease.
Disease.
Yeah, and because of that, in the long term, you are anyway going to die. So the body will die, but not the soul will die. Yeah, makes sense? Yeah. So, because the body is going to be perishable, so the body is going to die by its own course in the course of nature. The body is destroyed and it cannot be avoided. So, when the soul in the body is separated at death, this is unavoidable. So, if someone thinks I am the killer, that is karta aham mentality. Karta aham manyate. No, it is not like that. So, I am the doer. This will be discussed more in next chapter. I don't remember the which verse, but yeah, and also third chapter and fifth chapter. Both chapters we are going to discuss that. But here, it is not that anyone can kill anyone and say that na ayam hanti na handyate. I am not that killer. and no one is killed because soul cannot be destroyed. Srila Prabhupada has quoted that Ma Himsat Sarva Bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone. So no hinsa. And scripture tells us do not commit violence. So Srila Prabhupada had mentioned that killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable offense by the law of the land or law of the state, whatever is applicable in that case. So here Krishna is talking about the overall pattern of material nature, that body is imperishable and destruction cannot be avoided. And he is also talking about Arjun's Kshatriya duty. That what is the duty of Kshatriya?
Fine.
To
To
fight and
administer and
protect.
to protect.
Protect.
Yeah. So in order to protect, you have to go and do whatever is required in that particular situation. So in this particular situation, it is samaveta yuyutsavaha. So you have to kill or get killed. So he cannot flinch his duty. By flinching from his duty, Arjun cannot change course of nature. How do we say that? Because by the course of nature, people have to suffer and die. Anyway, however, in this particular situation, Krishna gives him the glimpse of from his mouth, by opening the mouth, shows him the entire, all the armies, and he says that look, they all have already been killed. You are only going to be a nimitta matra. I'm making you, I'm giving you, I'm glorifying you by allowing you to be the hero of this war. I could have asked somebody else to do that. Then you wouldn't have got the glories of it. But because you are my good friend and a devotee, I'm giving you this opportunity to become the hero. Yeah. Yeah. So very difficult situation, but we need to understand that in the perfects, in this perspective, and the context that he is talking about, and Krishna is putting forward. So continuously we are talking about the soul here. Yeah, in every step. Any questions so far?
All good.
So the next verse onwards, he's giving more knowledge on the soul's behavior, how it cannot be burnt, and broken into pieces, and all that. No? So let's do verse 20. Take the time. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्
अयं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं भूत्वा
भाविता न भूयः
अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
Ajuni
अजो नित्यं
शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न हन्यते हन्यमाने
हन्यमाने शरीरे
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्
न
न
जायते
जायते
म्रियते
म्रियते वा
वा
कदाचित्
कदाचिन्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
Nayam
नायं भूत्वा
भूत्वा
भविता वा न भूयः
अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
अजो
नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
पुराणो
नाहन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न
न
हन्यते
हन्यते
हन्यमाने
हन्यमाने
शरीरे
शरीरे
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्
न
न
जायते
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 म्रियते वा
म्रियते वा
कदाचित्
कदाचित्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं
नायं
भूत्वा
भूत्वा भविता
भविता
वा
वा
न भूयः
अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
अजो
अजो
नित्यं
नित्यं
शाश्वतोऽयं
शाश्वतोऽयं
पुराणो
पुराणो
नाहन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
नाहन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न
न
न
जायते
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 मृत्या
न
वा
जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
नायं
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 भूत्वा
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 भविता
भविता
वा
वा
न
न
भूयः
भूयः
अजो
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 नित्यं
नित्यं
नित्यशाश्वतोऽयं
शाश्वतोऽयं
पुराणो
पुराणो
न
न
न
हन्यते
हन्यते
हन्यते हन्यमाने
माने
हन्यमाने
शरीरे.
शरीरे
Who is struggling? Is anyone struggling other than Saloni?
I think it's the tune.
The tune? Okay.
Is it the same like the
न
Guru
जायते
Nahatva?
म्रियते वा न कदाचिन्.
न
Sing.
न
जायते
न
जायते
जायते
वा
म्रियते वा
कदाचित्
कदाचिन्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं
नायं
भूत्वा
भूत्वा
भविता वा न भूयः
भविता
अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न
न
हन्यते
हन्यते
माने
हन्यमाने
शरीरे
शरीरे.
Is it okay now? Okay.
So
Let's start with Madhuri.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
Wonderful. Madhuri Mataji.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्या शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
Very good. Deepa Mataji.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नयं नायं भूत्वा भवित् sorry because of the tune. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा
Okay.
न
First
भूयः.
line always
Mm,
goes up.
mhm,
Aroha, avaroha.
mm,
You understand?
mm.
Aroha, ऊपर जाते हैं.
अवरोह
अवरोह,
नीचे आता.
नीचे आते हैं. Right? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्
न
नायं
जाय
भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविते वा
नायं भूत्वा
नायं भूत्वा
नायं भूत्वा भविता
नायं
वा न
भूत्वा
भूयः
भविता वा न भूयः
अजो
अजो
नित्यं
नित्य अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते
हन्यते
हन्यमाने
हन्यमाने
शरीरे.
शरीरे. Very good. Saloni, you want help?
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूया अयो नित्या शश्वतोऽयं पुराणो नः नः नहायन्ते यहन्मनाने शरीरे.
Very nice.
Wonderful. You did it. Except the last line, which is fine.
Yeah,
Na
yeah.
hanyate hanyamane sharire.
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. You have to come down in the
It is
tune.
same like
Okay.
Guru Nahatva, that shloka.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is same.
Prabhuji,
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sorry.
so with the S, the last word S has on the top that one line.
Sure,
That means it
sure,
is sure.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So is it like the second line, Vana Bhuya or Bhuyaha?
Bhuyaha.
Someone, bhuyaha.
Bhuyaha.
Because someone said, sometimes we don't say the ya, sometimes we do.
No, it's not like that. So if you have two dots in front of it, then Bhuyaha. In Sanskrit, if you find two dots there, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Or under H, there is a dot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that way you can say that it's yaha, aha, like that. Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. I read it again. Madhavi, where are you?
Just trying to get some water.
Mhm. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So now here, the he is used for
The
soul. The soul does not have a gender. Okay? The soul can go into male or a female body, but
Then
it
it
does
should
not
be
have a
addressed
gender
as it.
associated. Sorry?
Then shouldn't be addressed as it.
No, because it is, why it is not it? Because it
Pure.
is a Paurishaya.
Apurushaya. Mhm.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. So now this time I think Madhavi Mataji should read first two big paragraphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Qualitatively, the small.
Maybe just read up till the first paragraph, only up to end. Then we'll ask Madhavi to read.
Okay. So from the word qualitatively?
Yeah.
Okay. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Spirit, with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the steady or kutastha.
Kutastha.
The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. It takes its birth from the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc., of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old, as the body does. The so called old man, therefore, feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls, and owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body.
So beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
In the
Madhuri,
Yes. In the Kathopanishad 1.2.18, we also find a similar passage which reads, Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit
question.
vipaschinayam कुतश्चिन् बभूव कश्चित् अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The meaning of this
Similar
purport,
words, it is only the
yeah,
vipaschin,
some words are
the
changed.
kadachin.
Yes. The meaning of this purport of this verse is the same as in the Bhagavad Gita, but here in this verse there is one special word,
Vipaschit.
upavischit, which
Vipaschit.
means,
Vipaschit.
sorry, what is that?
Vipaschit.
Vipaschit, sorry, yes, Vipaschit, which means learn or with knowledge.
Learn.
The
No, it is not
soul
learned, it is learned.
learned or with knowledge. The soul is full of knowledge or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart, where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owning owning to clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there, and we are convinced that it is there for daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme because the Supreme Consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like the forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teaching of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. There are two kinds of souls, namely the minute particle soul, Anu Atma, and the super soul, Vibhu Atma. This is also confirmed in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.20. In this way, Ano Rani,
Anoraniyan mahatomayan. Like this. Okay.
Anaraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmajanto Guhyam Tam Akritah Pasyanti Vitasoko Dhatu Prasadan Mahiman Atmanaha. Both the super soul, Paramatma, and the atomic soul, Jivatma, are situated on the same tree of the body, within the same heart of the living being. And only one who has become free from all material desires as well as lamentations can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the glories of the soul. Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul, also as it will be disclosed in the following chapters, and Arjuna is the atomic soul forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be enlightened by Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master.
So, so what are the important lines for Arjun and for us? Na jayate hanyate, na hanyate hanya mane sharire. When the body is destroyed, the soul is not destroyed. Soul, which is part of Krishna, will not and never be destroyed. So, na jayate mriyate va kadachin. The soul does not take birth. The soul does not die. What does it mean? Na jayate mriyate. Na jayate means it will not take birth. It will not.
Right.
Uh, a similar word is used. Ajo is unborn, not taking birth. With so a similar word is ajo, as he says, right? So not taking birth. Why these two similar words are used is, and what is their meaning here? For example, for a child, if we say child hasn't taken birth, it means child is in the womb. Yeah. Here, what is the meaning of word ajo? Ajo refers to the meaning that souls, the meaning of ajo means meaning that, the existence at a particular time. Ajo nityo nitshashvatam purana. So when we say that somebody has taken birth, it has entry into existence at a particular time. See, we make the horoscope, what time the birth happened. We don't take the time when the conception happened actually,
Yeah.
isn't it? So we don't take that time into consideration. We take the time when uh, a child is born, comes out of the womb. That is the time we have taken. If we start making the horoscope depending on when the conception happened, then it is going to be very hard to find, because that time nobody can predict. However, people like Suta Goswami, so he was born at the age of 16 years. He was 16 years old when he was born, and he started walking as soon as he came out. And he had all the knowledge of Shastras at that time.
16 years he was in the womb.
Yeah,
Oh. Which, whom are you talking about?
Suta Goswami.
Ah.
So this means that the soul doesn't come to existence at a particular time. When we say that somebody has taken birth, it has entry into existence at a particular time. And if the entry is at particular time, the exist should also be at the some time to the soul, is beyond the dimension of time. So what time it is entering and what time it is going, that cannot be measured, and we cannot predict that.
Hmm.
It is unpredictable. The soul is beyond the dimension of time. That's what it means. The soul is transcendental. So ajo doesn't mean non-existence. Ajo means it does not come to birth. It doesn't come to domain of time. Means it does not come to birth. It doesn't come to domain of time. It is always eternal. It is always there. It is not, it is independent of the time, that is material time. Because we always, in the theory of relativity, we always take the third dimension as time,
Hmm.
isn't it? So always the third dimension is time, X, Y, Z, three axis, three-dimensional geometry.
Yeah. I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Like we say, we have these Chiranjeevis, right? 7 Chiranjeevis are there. So these Chiranjeevis, how they are? Of course, it's been so many years. They are not in the form of body. Are we saying they are Chiranjeevis in the form of soul still residing in this earthly world?
No, I didn't get your question.
So Chiranjeevis, there are 7 Chiranjeevis.
Uh-huh.
We say Hanumanji, and then we have
Yeah, yeah. So
Ashwatthama, and
they always live here. Because Chiranjeevi, no? They are
mm.
like somebody is a Chirayavan, so which never dies. The Yavan does not die. Jiva is life. A Chiranjeevi means they always live.
So
Like
in what
Ashwatthama.
form? Like souls always live, right? Souls cannot die, nor they can.
They say that Hanuman is always there as Hanuman only.
So they don't take any other form. Is that
No,
what it
no, no,
means?
no,
Like
no.
Chiranjeevi means you will be there in this
Always
world somewhere, because you don't
somewhere.
go to any heavenly abode, but in form, but they are there in form of soul.
Uh, I don't think so. I think they are in the form of,
Physical.
in the human
Physical
body, kind
body.
of, yeah,
Okay.
or maybe a spiritual body. I have
Mm.
never, went into the details of it, but
Okay.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
question.
But like Ashwatthama, so like that. So they always there and they don't die.
Mm.
And people claim that they saw them. Who goes for
Uh,
Narmada Pradakshina, they
See,
say that we saw him.
people can talk about
Yes.
anything.
So we don't
Ashwatthama.
know. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people say that we went for Narmada Pradakshina, we saw him. We don't know like real truth, but
I really have no knowledge on that.
Mm.
some people go on
I
a
see it's better for us to stick to the scriptures that
one.
we are reading, and
Then
we have
confusing.
somebody to tell us about.
Mm.
Because what is the use, even if we come to know that Ashwatthama is there, what are we going to achieve?
Mm.
Like Trump is there, what are we achieving? Nothing. So in this
I
whole
don't.
section, Sri Krishna is using the Upanishadic strategy of neti neti, na ati.
Mm.
Not this, not this, not this, not this, like that. No? It's like I am not this, not this. By negation, gradually we come to affirmation. So Krishna has used a method of negation. Soul does not die, it is immeasurable, it is covered. So it is not depending on any time, material time, what time he came, what time he went away, and all that. Because it is na jayate, mriyate, va kadachan. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be burnt. It cannot be cut into pieces. So body and soul looks mixed up with each other so much that unmixing or separating them, the body and the soul, for our understanding, what is soul? Na jayati. Soul never take birth. Concept of soul is in most religious tradition is there, although quite lazy or quite hazy rather.
Mm.
So for example, in the Abrahamic religion, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam as well. So they talk about the soul, but when they talk about the soul, their talk is mostly metaphorical.
Mm.
And they have some references to non-material essence. That means that there is something essential which survives to us that is non-material and is a metaphorical reference to our non-material references. So the soul is not often taken literally as an entity in these three, Abrahamic religion or Judaism or Islam. They don't have the right concept of existence of the soul.
Mm.
And there are many branches that way, who are not able to give the right definition as it is given in our Vedic philosophy, in the Bhagavad Gita
Yeah.
or Katha Upanishad or all these kind. So they may say that love God with all thy heart, all thy mind, and all thy soul, like these, which is in the Bible. So actually, heart gets its consciousness from soul. The heart gets its emotions from the soul. The body gets energy from soul. So here the soul is referred in a metaphorical sense. So the meaning here is put your essential being into loving God. Even we, the devotees, also may say this in our day-to-day life. So the use of soul, when we say metaphorical sense, it is not wrong. For example, when we say, put your heart and soul in doing service to that. Put a hand on your heart and say that, oh, what you are saying is right. So just to make sure that what you are saying is not lie. You know, just to ensure that, that you believe, you are the believer of this fact, that heart and the soul are residing at the same place. Yeah. So what do we mean here over here? The heart here itself is from the chest and out in the service. Here we are referring to the heart. We are not referring to the biological heart. So that beats and circulate body all over the body. So heart's purpose is what? It pumps the blood, and it, as long as the pulse is going on, the heart is beating, we say that a person is alive. And the moment that stops, the consciousness is gone, and it is the dead body. So Sri Krishna is saying here the soul has refers metaphorical as the seat of consciousness and is sitting in the heart portion of the body. And that's where it sits. The soul has a seat in our body and the region of the heart where it goes and sits there until the time the body is alive, until the body is not dead. So in the broad religious practices in the world, we can classify that into two. There are Abrahamic religions and Dharmic religions. The Abrahamic religions are Judaism, Christianity, Islam. They often historically centered, which means some specific event that has happened in history and centered on it. For example, Moses taking the selected people from Egypt to promised land, and Jerusalem, or Jesus appeared in, or Muhammad's coming, they are historic centered. The Dharmic religions are Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Sikhism. There are also historic events are there, and those are very significant. But they are more on search of principles of dharma. So understanding the universal that underlies the universe and harmonizing with those principles, that is the focus of dharmic religions. So in dharmic religion, Buddhism has a peculiar conception. There is a reincarnation, but there is no soul. What kind of reincarnation is that? Reincarna means the flesh. So new flesh is coming. And that is happening every moment of the day for all of us. We don't realize that our body cells are falling down and the new body cells are getting developed. So that actually reincarnation is happening every time, every moment of the day. Even while we are sleeping, we are talking, we are walking. This process is happening. That's why in our houses, our mothers or my wife or whoever, they have been taught to wash your bed sheet every week because the body cells are falling upon it. And that is not very good that you keep sleeping on the same sheet for a good long time. And you can realize if you go to somebody's bedroom, because you are a visitor to somebody's house, you will get a typical smell there. And that smell is of that. That's why they get the purely washed or, from the laundry or anywhere they get it washed and then put the fresh sheets for you.
Yeah.
So that you get the clean, very crystal clear, smell of that. So that does not, upset you, your overall consciousness. That's why when we go to the hotel, they have very fresh sheets every day for you. Of course, they are getting paid for it. However, even if we pay, there is a labor required to do so. In the houses, it is not possible that you do it every day. Some people have, the what do you call ODC, obsessive
Cleanliness.
OCD.
OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
One of my friends, she had, I mean, I was in the US, and after cutting the vegetables, she used to wash. Even onion, I don't eat onion, but she used to wash the onion after cutting it as well. He has I mean, severe OCD.
You met Rashmin, right? My husband. He has OCD.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You should go to our wardrobe. Like his wardrobe will be the way he folds his clothes. I don't fold his clothes. I fold mine. He's like, no, no, I'll fold. It'll be just like
Mm.
it's ironed. His rack will be all very well structured, and mine will be don't even ask. So and the same, like he sees toys around, like my daughter playing
This
with the
everything
toys.
is getting recorded, so let's not talk
Oh,
about that.
sorry.
Yeah. So every religion, so those who are coming out from the Hinduism, which is actually the Sanatan Dharma, um, there are variations to this, and people do follow and don't follow. However, depending on what kind of shastras they are reading and following. So the bottom line is that soul cannot be burnt, cut into pieces, and the soul becomes the main object of consciousness, and that's where our uh, knowledge goes, and we learn from there that yes, as long as the soul is there, there is a consciousness, and once the soul is gone, then the consciousness is gone, and the body becomes a dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have a question here.
yes, please.
So in the first paragraph, the purport, it says, and because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. So
Yes.
if that's the case, it has no past, then when we are born with our karma of previous life.
Yeah.
So we bring the good and the bad with us. So if we are saying it has no past, then where is karma into this?
Absolutely. So, as I said before as well, the soul also takes two more things along with it: mind and intelligence and false ego.
Okay. So it
So
has a
that
past.
carries, yeah. So
So it,
that's in the past, it takes it along with it for the next birth.
but in here it says it has no past.
I know soul does not have a past,
It
but
is just
the
one.
attachments have their past.
Mhm.
So the mind, intelligence, and false ego. The false ego is what? The position that I'm holding. That I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a high court judge. So that is a false ego. Prabhupada says that I'm not husband, I'm not wife, I'm not court judge, I'm not this, I'm not that. Gopi pada kamalayo dasa dasanudasa. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. That once we try to come to this understanding that I have no identity, I am only dasanu dasanu dasa, not bosanu bosanu bosa. So then we are actually coming to the understanding of sarva upadhi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirbalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. So I don't have any degree, I don't have any padvi or title attached to me. The title that only I have is that I am only a dasa. I am only a servant of the servant of the servants of Krishna. That is the position when we achieve or when we arrive at that understanding. That's where the punarjanma that happens is only in abode of Krishna. Otherwise, every time we come here, do that, and we take away the karmas with us. I'm only saying I don't live that life yet. Did I answer your question, Mataji?
Yes.
Yes?
Okay, I have one question.
Yes, Mataji?
When,
Madam?
what time the soul enter any body?
Any body?
Yeah, like when we say like any
Okay. So
conception.
it all,
So when does it?
so yeah, very good question. So when a birth of anything, anyone happens, so it's all predestined, the birth. Okay. So when the conception happens, the soul enters into that body, in the womb itself.
Oh.
So 9 months when we talk about, actually already the body along with the soul is there.
Mm.
And it is struggling there in the half-coiled manner, drinking all those dirty water, eating all those dirty food inside the coil, inside the womb, and struggling. And that time he's saying, Krishna, please take me out. I don't want to come here anymore. But as soon as we come out, we forget about everything. Now let me watch a nice movie of, somebody. We forget everything. But
So
that's where
only
when
these.
you are in the, see, have you ever heard that, anybody's got a birth and a birth has happened? The mother is laughing. The child who's born is laughing. No, they all are crying. No one got the birth and they are coming smiling outside. They all are crying, right? So because it's a painful, birth is painful, death is painful, struggle in the life is painful. At least we are getting this knowledge because of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, that he has, given us these books where we can get this knowledge. But how many people are getting this knowledge? And they're ready to give just $50, $100 to come to this course. This reminds me that if anyone of you has not paid, please do that. All right. Any other question, please? Madhavi, Saloni, Mataji, Deepa. Okay, please check with Devlin why he didn't attend today.
Mm.
Let's do Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna.